Thank you for coming to my little section of tech tools to leverage PBS learning media resources. My name is Cara Wilkins. I am a district integration technology specialist for the Lowell Public Schools. I started my career in special ed and then spent a majority of it teaching middle school social studies. I've had this position for about 5 years now, and my passions have totally changed. I am super passionate about working with our littlest learners, and I am really excited and always looking for new opportunities to bring tech tools to help our students that are learning English to support them in their endeavors. So that has become a real passion of mine in the last couple of years. And so PBS reached out and asked if I would show how I'm going to marry PBS learning media and some of my favorite tech tools. So that's what we're going to do right now. So I'm going to show you today the amazing resources that PBS learning media offers to help scaffold resources for students that are learning English, and how you can bring these resources to the next level by integrating them with my current favorite tech tool, which is Seesaw. So this year, Seesaw has been my absolute favorite tech tool because for our littlest learners, as well as any student that may have language-based struggles, Seesaw allows the teacher to create activities that include audio and video support. Students can also respond to activities or add to their portfolios with audio recordings, pictures, videos, and more. Talk about universal design for learning. You can really allow students to show what they know in so many different ways. So today I'm going to demonstrate how to marry PBS, learning media, and Seesaw, and I'm going to share some other tools such as icons, emoji, and Google Earth that are going to offer support to students learning a new language, as well as build background knowledge. As a social studies teacher, I find background knowledge to be super important because it's hard to understand anything if you don't understand what happened first. I will be including everything I show you today in a Wakelet that you can take, explore, and share. So this is it right here. You can take a screenshot of this, but we're going to push it out afterwards. And if you're not familiar with a Wakelet, it is a collection. You can make collections of resources, and I can share it out to you so you can see. So this is all the resources I'm talking about today, including today's presentation, as well as some videos to help you get started to make some of the activities that I have made. So back to the presentation. So the first thing that I did was I headed over to PBS Learning Media to pick my resource I wanted to work with for this activity, and I wanted to check out the collection of my favorite show, which is Molly of Denali. So here we go. This is Molly, and I'm in love with Molly. Molly is the first nationally distributed cartoon series that has an Alaskan native as the lead character. How awesome is that? Molly of Denali has, to me, 3 academic focuses, and that's why it's awesome to integrate into a early learning classroom or a lower elementary classroom, because it has 3 distinct academic purposes. So first, it is a look at Alaskan Native culture, and to me, as a social studies teacher, a study of culture in general. So that is awesome. Also, they do, inside of Molly, they focus on the study of informational text and how we use it in our daily lives. So you can really put this into a great literacy unit. As a tech coach, Molly, I love Molly because Molly loves technology. So she likes to vlog and she likes to communicate through text. So as a tech coach, I use Molly to show students how they can use technology to learn and create in a responsible manner. And so what I decided to use for this activity we're going to be working on today, I'm going to scroll down a little bit here. We are going to be working on the video. Molly is broken up into 3 actual sections, 2 cartoons with a live action in the middle, and I'm going to do the first cartoon, which is the Rocky Rescue, and I am going to be using the resources from the lesson plan in my activity, but I'm going to integrate it into Seesaw. So, as I said, I'm taking parts of the lesson plan from the Molly of Denali that is located inside of PBS Learning Media, and I'm going to create the activity inside of Seesaw using their activity feature. And the reason that I'm marrying these two is that I wanted these supports and accommodations. We're going to be offering the student read aloud audio support, closed captioning, the ability to change the video speed. We're going to be doing some vocabulary work. The PBS Learning Media Lesson Plan identifies Tier 3 vocabulary that you can go over ahead of time. We're going to build background knowledge specifically on Alaska so it makes sense. I'm going to offer some visual supports for executive functioning. And also, my favorite thing is that the students are going to be able to show us what they know in multiple different ways. They're going to do audio recordings and video recordings. They're going to be able to do whatever works for them. So I have here the process by which I went through. And I'm not going to go through everything, okay? But I did decide that we're going to focus on background knowledge and video comprehension. And one thing that is good to know for those of you guys who have used Seesaw before, I create my backgrounds in Google Slides. I like the ability to a little bit more advanced with fonts and moving things around. So I create all my backgrounds in Google Slides so I can use those from activity to activity and have templates, but I add the video in Seesaw and I add the audio in Seesaw. So I use their rich media tools in order to make these types of things work. I also created a Google Earth project, and we're going to talk about that, where students can explore Alaska. So I'm showing you guys the process. This is going to be in the presentation at the end. So we're going to take a second to go through the activity, and I'm going to point out the language supports that I have. I have this presentation that's annotated, but we're also going to flip and see what it looks like to the student inside of Seesaw. So number one, I've got that background knowledge from PBS Learning Media Lesson Plan. I took it right from the actual lesson plan and put it in here because we are dealing with a new culture and a new place in the world that many of them have not been to. So I want to make sure that understanding is there. And then I created and added a video right within Seesaw where I read the text out loud, I clarify vocabulary, and I pronounce the Athabascan groups. That is probably very important. This is what I love Seesaw for, though. I made the video right in here, like add video, recorded, and it was right there. I didn't have to make it in another website or another piece of software and then download it and then upload it and then make sure my settings were right. Seesaw allows you to do audio and video right within here so easily that it's hard to compete with other things. So let's take a quick look at that. I'm going to go over to my Seesaw activity and open it up. And this is a quick view of what the students will see. And so, hello, friends. So follow along while I read. Molly of Denali, rock. So when this came up, you saw my live captioning pop up down here. That actually has nothing to do with Seesaw or PBS Learning Media. That is Chrome itself. So it's right up here. It's the 3 lines with a musical note. It's called live captioning. You can turn it on in your accessibility features settings. It's not available for Chromebooks right now, but it will be by the time we get back to school in August, late August, September. And what it does is it live captions any audio that comes out of any of the tabs on your Chrome browser. So we're talking video, we're talking audio, podcasts, music even. And so it's a really great support that you can just turn on and leave. And anytime it recognizes audio coming out, it just starts captioning it. It's pretty cool. So let's go back here and go to the next section we're going to talk about. Sorry, I'm moving my head around a lot. So I love to use emojis as visual cues to support learners. I use the same emojis throughout all of our activities all throughout the year to symbolize the same thing. I include in the Wakelet videos on how to use emojis on your Mac and PC because a lot of us only know how to use it on our phones. And so basically I also do descriptions right here, like this is an old video camera. They have no idea what an old video camera looks like. Number 4, you're going to see this symbol throughout my activity. So the blue box with the headphones in it. That is my click here so I can read all of this to you. Seesaw allows you to insert a shape or an image and create and attach an audio recording to it right within Seesaw. This becomes my read aloud icon, and students are trained to click it and listen to the reading. So we're going to go and we're going to do one. Oops, sorry, it's right here. And I'm going to move my head again.
Molly lives in Alaska. Show me what you already know about Alaska.
And you see that the live captioning came up too. So basically, anywhere that I find that I have text, I add these little boxes, and you can add more than one box, which is a really cool thing. So you can actually have reading here and reading here and reading here. And again, make it inside the Seesaw app. I didn't have to find an audio recording website to record, to download, to upload, to share. It's right within Seesaw, and the students can do this as well. That is one of my favorite things. So here we go. I'm going to move my head again. So number 5 over here, I do one last literacy support for the emojis before I'm going to use them independently. So then after this slide, they're just going to see the emoji when I tell them, I'll say to them, show me what you know. And then I put the emojis on the different ways that they might show me. Right here, my little globe, that's my geography globe, and I use it on every activity where we're going to be talking about geography. So I love to use icons to visually support understanding and executive functioning. I use these icons to identify different sections of an activity or clarification of my directions. I personally get my icons from 2 websites. One's called Noun Project and one's called Flat Icon. They are free with premium services. I pay for the premium services, but you can get by with the free ones without a doubt. I put those resources in my Wakelet. The social studies teacher in me could not give up a chance to do background knowledge through geography. So to help build background knowledge, I created a Google Earth project. These were formerly known as tour builders. And it's like a virtual field trip that we can go to Alaska. So we're going to start in Lowell. We're going to go to Denali National Park. We're going to explore the park through the map as well as 360-degree photos. And Molly lives in a fictional town called Kaya, so I can't show them Kaya, so I actually added some virtual stops into a real town named Healy. When the kids click on this, it's going to open in a new tab. I've also included directions on how to make these and a actual link to this one in my Wakelet, so make sure you grab that at the end. So when the students click, they're going to get this. Where in the world is Molly of Denali? And as they click through down here, for us, we're going to start in Lowell. You are here, and then they're going to click the button, and it brings them to Denali National Park, so they get to see the visual of how far away it is. And then my next picture is a 360-degree, and it's going to zoom in. And while students are here, they can also explore using these tools on the right-hand side. I have a video for that. But this is a great way for them to be able to see what Molly has experienced. So that would be probably a whole day's worth of activities, but it allows them to understand who Molly is and where she is from. So vocabulary, I did a ton of work with my Frere model template. So number 8, my tier 3 vocabulary comes directly from the PBS Learning Media lesson plan. The students can click on the little speaker to hear me pronounce the word right here. So I say it a couple of times. Number 9, each box has the ability to be read aloud. So I told you that, oops, sorry about that. I told you that you can add multiple of these. So this one I had each box, you can have the sentence read out loud. Number 10, now I'm using the emojis without the literary supports to show students the different ways that they can show what they know. So we've got the pencil, the microphone, the video camera, the keyboard, and the camera. And 11, Seesaw allows the children to respond to a prompt through video, audio, drawing, typing, and adding things. I hadn't said that yet, but basically there are so many different tools that you can ask a question and students can send you the answer to that in many different ways. So the PBS Learning Media Plan also gives a ton of information for extensions. So I chose a little extension activity where students are going to practice pronouncing an Athabascan word. I included audio and video support so they could see how it was done. And then their activity is to do the same thing, to pronounce it and to either do it through audio or video. So this is just practicing somebody else's language. So now it would be time to watch. So in PBS Learning Media, I use the lesson builder option. I'm going to show you that to organize the video and some guiding questions for the students to follow. I have explicit directions over here that I've supported for icons. So click on the closed caption button to read the words. There's the CC. So if I go here, this is what a student's going to get. In the directions, I tell them to type their name. And then they have questions here. These are right from the lesson plan. And then we'll go to Molly of Denali right here. So this is their video player. And in their video player, you've got some supports. All of Molly of Denali's videos have closed captioning. So you can turn on the closed captioning. You can slow down the speed. This is super helpful for some of our students, and I like to teach them how to do it. Go ahead and find the speed that works for you. They also have the chapters, which helps with executive functioning, because if they lose where they are, they can come right back to, we were working on Rocky Rescue. We're not on Ask Molly right now. Here we go. And so there we go. I've got it right there. So students can slow down the video to increase comprehension. And then Molly of Denali, we got the closed captioning. So to finalize the activity, because again, this activity was just about the background knowledge and the watching and understanding of the video. The PBS Learning Media lesson plan has way more about informational text that you could do as another activity. But for this activity, to finish it up, what I did was I took the comprehension questions from the video and I put them on Seesaw in the activity. And what I would do is I probably have the children choose to do 2 of the questions. So we have like, what happened in the story? Show me what you know. Again, these are the different ways they can show them what they know. This is my what happened icon. They could click this to hear it. And I have a couple of different questions that they would be able to answer, but I would probably let them choose which 2 they want to do, and they can do them in any way they want to. So there we go. That is how I would take the PBS Learning Media and integrate it with Seesaw in order to create a great activity, but then offer those language-based supports to any student that needs them. I hope this was helpful.